How's it going, everybody? Sorry, let me turn the volume down so that people can hear me. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. BearNPC here, ready to work on my persona background and phys guide for Crestfallen. I already got a bit of work done on it, but I hope everybody's having a great day. Today was not super busy, but there's always something going on. So I had a little bit of drama as per usual, but such is life. So for today, for the most part, I am working on the persona guide for Crestfallen. Just trying to make sure I'm getting this stuff done. Oftentimes I plan a little too big and grandiose than I should. So I really need to cut it back and be a little more realistic on stuff, but such is life. If the music seems a little too loud, please let me know. I can change it on here, but let's get into it. Let me make sure I got everything set right. Yeah. Good. Let's go. Okay, so here we are so far on the persona background and phys guide. We have our general disclaimer page first. This is the same how to forge your character as in the character sheet document. But basically this whole document is going to be plot-based stuff so people can make their character backgrounds. So this intro story here gives a little description of how the game world kind of comes together. Basically, the entirety of the game world is infused with two main energies: essence, which is the pure life force of everything, and energy, which is the power to create magic. And that magic comes from two separate locations. I'll get into that stuff later. But it basically goes on about how all the people in the world, there was infighting and everybody, basically fighting to survive, and how after a while lineages popped up and they formed their own governments, but they always fought amongst each other. And then basically how a group of lineages agreed that there were certain things that they all agreed upon, and that they would basically form an alliance called the Inspired, who basically all agreed to these moral compasses, and anybody else would be considered a monster, and they drove all the monsters out of their lands. And that's pretty much where things kind of happened up until the recent history. And basically what happens in the game world is there's this relative peace because the Inspired have driven out all the monsters, and everything is so peaceful for so long that a lot of things are lost because there's no need to really innovate or do anything new. And lots of the previous reasons why people did things kind of fall by the wayside, and you lose your history a little bit when you become complacent. And basically all these portals from different planes and realities open up all at once for some unknown reason to the world. And these people from other lands and worlds start flowing into Catalosa, and it's not a perfect entry point to the world because some of the portals open way up high in the sky and people fall to their doom. Some portals open up under the water and people can't survive that. Some portals open up in cavern systems in all kinds of dangerous areas. So all these refugees that come to the plane, a large number of them don't survive. And not only do they not survive, but they don't remember everything about their home. And so this is very disconcerting. And the inspired only have so many rations and so many things, so many resources. So now it's a whole, we need to build things up for these people to survive. But little do they know that monsters have also infiltrated the world, and some of the different monster groups that already existed have more resources now. And so basically the peace is just about to be shattered. People are starting to work. I'm sorry. I know the feeling. Yeah, we were watching Homeward Bound with the kiddos before I started stream. And it is a very sad moment there at the end of the game, the movie. So, but did Little Squirrel like it? But anyway, so yeah, so these portals open up. There's not enough resources for everybody to survive. Lots of the people that are transported here don't survive, and the monsters are bolstered. And so where the game is going to start is basically all of these new people. Either you decide, are you a traveler? Are you someone that just magically came here from another game world? Or are you one of the inspired, one of the people that has lived on this? She says she loved it. That's good. I thought it was a good call. I wish we would have started it like 10 minutes sooner. We would have been cool. But sorry about that, folks. But yeah, basically all the travelers, the whole thought process is there are a lot of LARPs out there, and not all LARPs have allowed every single player to play the character the way they want to, or in a way that was fair, or many number of things. Maybe a chapter stopped running games and you never got any closure for your character. Maybe you wanted to really play a D&D character, but it never translated well to another LARP game. There's all kinds of reasons. You can play a character that you previous played in an RPG or a LARP or whatnot, if it fits with our game world, and you can basically bring that character over. Now, you shouldn't have all the memories, but you can keep kind of that character's thought process. For example, in the world of Catalosa, necromancy is a perfectly legal thing, except for the creation of undead. Because necromancy is also harming magic and things of that nature. Creating undead is seen as a vile practice, but necromantic magics and testing and things like that isn't taboo. Now, if I brought my character from the National LARP game, if I brought my character Corbin over from that, I would have to change my character's thought process to allow for the fact, okay, well, necromancy is legal, but I could still hate the creation of undeath because that's still a thing. But we got to be really careful, what's brought in, what's not. Yet again, going with the example of my character Corbin, if other people bring other characters from similar games, I don't want to have those same thought processes to those people. I need to give everybody a chance. It's a new LARP. It's a new existence for this character, basically. So I should start scratch with my interactions with other people. But some of those things that are defining to the character can stay. It's gonna be a difficult thing to go about. But I think it's super important because there are a lot of LARP games that have abruptly ended or done wrong by their players in certain ways, shapes, or forms, where people need to have the chance to play a character again, just for some closure, maybe. So that's why I kind of open things up for that. I think some people will like it. I think other people won't. But it's worth a shot. So that's where the whole thought process of the travelers or the inspired comes by. It doesn't have any mechanical benefit either way, but it's just a thing that people should keep in mind. Next, we get into the lineages, and I got to be 110% clear on this. All of the lineages are government / typical things for that lineage. We are not forcing anybody to follow any cultural packets or anything like that. And the reason being that cultures vary so drastically, and we don't want to copy any cultures from the real world. So you notice on here, I have this big warning talking about racism. It's not tolerated at the game. Lineages are based on their genetic effects and set physical characteristics that differentiate them from one another. No lineage is based on a coloration that is used to describe a current cultural group in the real world. Kinfolk and orcs are the only lineage. Kinfolk and orc are the only lineages that currently limit to coloration, and all other lineages must use the player's real-world skin tone. So we are not differentiating elves into different groups because there's no reason to. They're not mechanically going to be any different. So we don't want people thinking that dark elves, as they were originally in D&D, and they've kind of changed them over the years, but how a majority of dark elves were evil. We don't want people thinking that just because skin tone is a thing that determines good versus evil or anything like that. And we want everybody to be welcome at the game. So all of the lineages, dwarf, halfling, elf, human, whatever skin tone you are is the skin tone of what your character is at the game. And any and all are perfectly acceptable, but you aren't allowed to change your skin tone to match that of others, just to keep things respectful. We're not going to have specialty elves or specialty humans or specialty dwarves or anything. Just for keeping everybody comfortable, and there's no reason to, push any of that kind of stuff. But anyway, like I said, all the lineages basically denote how the politics for that group works, a little bit about, genetically how those different lineages are, but you can play against type. So for example, the dwarves here, they normally get weapon training and are trained in enchanting. They don't normally go towards magic, but if they do, they want effects that enhance their combat skills and enchant their weapons and armor. There's nothing in the rules saying you can't play a spellcaster. There's nothing in the rules saying that you have to have weapon training. Even though that lineage gets those abilities and they're cheaper, you can play against type. It's perfectly acceptable. Same with elves, halflings, humans, anything. It's all, it's all up to you as a player. Another thing that, I tried to be very, very careful of. Some people right now are saying that orcs are associated with, hold on one second. Forgot the other light. Wondered why it was kind of dark on the picture. Some people say that orcs as a lineage are associated with the black experience in the world. And I've never seen that personally in fantasy literature or anything like that. And I want to make sure that that is not construed in any way, shape, or form in our lineage-based system. So orcs, they are still very, very much tied to strength. And they're also very, very tied to honor and honor-based systems. Their government is strictly based on holding a yearly tournament to find who the best leader is for their group. And the title for that is their marshal. And basically they do this through physical and tactical contests. So like playing chess or actual melee combat or ranged combat and things like that. That's not something we're going to have in game because all the political groups are over there. And they send the players on different jobs for the political groupings. And one of our core concepts is every single political group in the Inspired is a group for the side of good. We never want to have an aspect where, you know, one of the higher ups in one of those governments is evil, and then basically deceive the players. We want there to be a strong side for good players to be good people, and reasons to play good characters rather than everybody being shades of gray. That is one thing I totally dislike about many LARP systems. The rule should be good or be good at it. AKA, if you're going to do bad stuff, be very good at doing bad stuff and don't let anybody know what you're doing. But plot should not gravitate towards that evil. That should be something players do. Or the evil monsters do. And only the evil monsters do. So just trying to keep up with that. Next, we have the unifying principles of the Inspired. So I'm trying to keep it, yet again, not tied to any particular real world culture or things like that. All people of lineages of the Inspired are considered equal under the law, regardless of station, physical ability, and thought. So very much an idealistic version of the world. We want everybody to be equal. We don't want celebrities to get special treatment under the law. We don't want politicians getting special treatment under the law. You know, we want everybody to be equal. Strange thought, huh? All people of lineages of the Inspired are entitled to speak freely of their thoughts. This ability to speak freely is only restricted when knowingly used to speak falsely of another member of the Inspired. All Inspired should be sure in their words and never use them to throw accusations against each other without consideration for their actions. AKA, we don't want people willy-nilly spouting accusations and things of that nature. If you're going to call somebody out for breaking a law, please make sure that they actually broke said law. And this kind of goes with another thought process of how we want the game. It is next to impossible to do any kind of Sherlock Holmes police style investigation in a medieval era, and magic should be able to compel honesty and truth. But it is hard to get players to agree to those kinds of things. So what we really want to build is a community where people can separate in-game and out of game, and where they realize that if they commit a crime against a player character in the game world, that, you know, if charges are brought up against them, we're going to have an out-of-game discussion that basically says, hey, did you actually do this thing? And then you're going to get charged for it. The whole reasoning for that is we don't want people that have been at the game for a long time and have sway with outside of the game or inside of the game having a get out of jail free card for doing bad things to new people or people in general. We don't want people driving people away from the game. So if you plan on committing a crime, yet again, be good at it. Don't let people know who, like, that you did it. That's the only real way to get away with it. But we'll get into that more. And that's something that the people are going to have to either agree with, or we're going to have a conversation amongst the player base to see if that's something that we want to actually do or not. But I hope people understand the reason for my logic in that. The national-based game had a ton of players who would gain noble positions and then use that power to drive other people from the game so that their friends could get all the magic items and props and money and everything like that. And I don't want that to be a thing. I know in the real world that's how it can be, but we want an ideal We want a game where everybody has the same chance to have fun. And we don't want other people ruining people's fun and driving them away from the game, because then we'll be just as bad as those other LARP games that I didn't particularly enjoy that portion of. Next thing, all people of lineages of the inspired may defend themselves from harm, aka there shouldn't be any laws against people having weaponry or spells or alchemy or any of that kind of stuff. You want people to be able to do, use their skills in the game. If you find ways to restrict that, then that's going to cause problems with the game. All people of lineages of the inspired may claim ownership of physical property such as housing, weaponry, resources, and other personal effects. No living creatures may ever be claimed as property. That's yeah. We don't want to use slavery in our game. Not going to be a thing. All lineages of the inspired maintain governments of their own territory or capital. And finally, any transgressions regarding the laws of the inspired of Catalosa will be handled by a member of the Protectorate of Catalosa. This organization is maintained by the Dracone lineage as an impartial force of law. AKA, no PCs will have the power of law against other PCs. Yet again, I've seen that turn into super bad things. And so far we have the laws of the inspired of Catalosa: accomplice, assassination, assault, bribery, conspiracy, destruction of property, kidnapping, libel, murder, necromantic undeath, slander, theft, and treason. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, those are easily understood, but I'm going through and defining them as much as I can. This document is going to have that. I'm going to have a small primer on magic and where it comes from in the game world. I'm going to have a small description of the three main NPC groups. The goblins, the gnolls, the undead, possibly the lizard folk. We will see about that. And then I'm going to have directions on the actual phys reps that we're allowing in game. So for example, for the energy, for spell casting, we're using the big craft stick / tongue depressors. If people are planning on making not scrolls, wands, we're going to be using these colored tongue depressors. Wands are going to be single use. It's already going to have magic in it. Anybody that can read the incant on the wand and has a free hand to throw or touch cast spell energy may use it. But using the energy or using the wand, you have to break the actual tongue depressor in order to use it. So there is just something very very pronounced about snapping one of these and knowing that an effect is going off or something like that. I love it. We're also working on our leaf fizz reps. I'm currently looking for a print shop that can make those. I also have, let me pull up here. That is all the art. Let me see. Oops. Okay. So the current plan is we have these leaf designs and we want them printed both front and back, and they're going to be colored differently. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 different leaf designs, and they're all going to have similar colorations. but they're all going to be printed on paper called Right in the Rain, making it a little more waterproof, which is super, super cool. And once they are waterproofed, we're going to actually, on all the edges, they're going to be painted with either silver or gold paint, and noting denominations of them. And basically, the leaves contain life essence. And if you turn in these leaves during the course of a game, you can buy one of your character points, or you can actually once a year buy an extra life, making it abundantly clear for everybody how you get more lives in the game. And lives can be used for more than just resurrection in the game. So yeah. So we're working on those. Hopefully we'll have those done in the next month, so I can have them ready for the play test, just so people can see them. We also have our resource cards. Let me pull those up here. So here's the approved project design card. The crafting resource cards. They're going to be cut in half, as you can see, but just have the resource type on it. And the actual item card that has the durability and description and all that kind of stuff. And whenever items are made, whatever recipe that is used to make it is going to be, whatever project design is made with it, they're all going to be listed. So we're going to know what all the cards and all those things do. So super excited about that. And then I already have the project design cards and the item cards printed. They're done. They're set. They're good to go. The crafting resources, I'm trying to find a more cost-effective way to do it, because we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22 to 3 to 4. We have 26 total kinds of cards. So what I want to do, instead of printing it as actual business cards, because it would be expensive to do that many, I'm trying to get them all on one big sheet printed out, and then I will cut them myself. Because if I can get even 5, 10, even if I can get 4, 8, if I can get about 20 on a page, that means that I can do pages of 5, 10, 15. I can get all of the rare materials all on one page, and I can print out 25 pages of those, and then I'll have 25 each of those reps. And then I can print out 25 to 50 pages of the common and basic ones. And that'll get me, even if I have 5 of each of them on there, 125 of each. So I think that'll be a good start for the game. But we will see. Like I said, I'm working on that. I have some help with that as well. I'm having staff meetings on every other Tuesday. I have a staff meeting this week with Sherry in regards to some organizational stuff. She's the one that did the art for the leaves, so we're gonna double check that, make sure we're happy with it, figure out what actual game text needs to be on one of those, and then get ready for sending those to be printed. And then the following week, I should have a staff meeting with our what will be technically our 4th staff member. And then we're going to skip a week, and then we're hopefully going to get all 4 of us together that week after. So we should have 2 full staff meetings before the play test with everybody so far on staff. Also, if anybody's interested in joining staff, I'm kind of waiting until after the play test to see who's interested. But I really want to bring people on that are interested in actually helping, and not empty platitudes for saying they're going to help and then not doing half the stuff they say they're going to do. That happens very, very often, and is part of the reason why I tended to do 95% of the work myself back in previous iterations of different LARP games. It wasn't because I wanted to do all the work myself. It wasn't because I didn't try to delegate. It was because whenever I delegated, none of the stuff got done. So yeah, I'm going to do my best to not have that be a thing. But we'll see how that goes. Okay. If anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, anything they want to discuss, feel free. Go ahead and jump in the chat and bring it up. Otherwise, I'm going to keep on keeping on with these laws. I'm hoping to have this document out for everyone tomorrow, so we will see how that goes. Let's keep up with it. I am basing my thought process on the laws based off of previous iterations of LARP laws. Most people that have LARPed in the national base game that I previously played in will recognize a number of these. But I'm not putting any particular fines or anything like that in regards to them. I have a couple ways I want to handle things. I want people to have honor duels and things of that nature, to hash out problems on their own rather than having plot law people first and foremost. If the 2 parties can come to agreeable terms, and it doesn't even need to be physical combat. Maybe it might be a puzzle. Maybe it might be a game of chess. Maybe it might be, a number of things. I really like that thought process of somebody being wronged and being able to challenge their accuser or whatnot, for them to determine it rather than plot. But I want it to also be fair. So here we go. Kidnapping. Yet again, I'm trying to keep all the wording similar, but very, very general so that anyone can understand it. Okay, so kidnapping. Someone who willingly and knowingly holds someone who willingly and knowingly holds a member of the inspired in captivity by restraint, threat, spell, or word. So essentially blackmail. In an attempt to ransom Someone who willingly and knowingly holds a member of the inspired in captivity by restraint. Oh, geez. I just got an old picture from 2010 of getting ready for a game. I believe it was in Ohio. Good times. Had a great nap at that event. One of the best naps ever. Actually, probably not that event because I think I was playing Nantua for the event with the best nap in the world. Yeah, we went to a game, used all of our skills within the first 20 minutes of trying to do something, and couldn't really do anything until the next re-up of skills. So we all went to sleep. And whenever we woke up, we went on another adventure, used all of our skills again, and we're like, yeah, there's no reason to stay. And we went home. It was not a fun time. It may have been a fun time if we, didn't feel completely useless at the time. Okay. Kidnapping. Someone who willingly and knowingly holds a member of the inspired in captivity by restraint, threat, spell, or word in an attempt to ransom No, we'll leave it at that. Someone is guilty of this crime. This captivity must be for the use of ransom, tactical benefit, this captivity must be for the use of ransom, tactical benefit, or planned violence against the captured or those that may come to their rescue. Inspired who are held captive in the concern Okay. Inspired who are held captive for the safety of other inspired. No, I don't want to word it that way. It is reasonable to hold a member of the inspired captive for their own safety or the safety of other inspired if there is reason to believe if the captive inspired is not of their own free will. This must be proven okay. It is reasonable to hold a member of the inspired captive for their own safety or the safety of other inspired if there is reason to believe the captive inspired is not of their own free will. If this is done without this must be proven this reasoning is difficult to prove. I don't want to word it. I'm not even putting it. I'm going to put a thing at the end talking about the safety of other people and whatnot. We'll go through that. Okay. Libel. Someone who willingly and knowingly libel is written, I believe. Yes. Someone who willingly and knowingly presents a prejudicial or false statement or accusation to another inspired by use of print, writing, picture, or sign. Yeah. Okay. So basically with libel and slander as well. It's very important. Dragging people's characters through the mud for no apparent reason. Making it so other people don't interact with them and whatnot. It's a perfectly acceptable thing to do. However, you should be very careful of it. And we don't want any of that to bleed out of game as well. Okay. Onward. Next to the very scary one. Notice I don't have mockery of noble in here or any of that BS. Why? Because it's BS. Murder. Murder is not BS. Someone who someone who willfully and knowingly takes the life of a member of the inspired is guilty of this crime. Okay, someone who willfully and knowingly takes the life of a member of the inspired is guilty of this crime. This includes death via weapon, spell, and or tech. Now, in my rules, let's go and review real quick because I want to make sure that I have this thought properly. Let me go to the conditions. Okay. Okay, so here we have dying. Here we have dead. Target of this condition is lifeless and it retains no sensory knowledge or anything of anything. When a target gains this condition, all active spells on the target end, though conditions such as bleed remain. If the target retains the dead condition for 5 minutes, then the target loses 1 essence point, the body vanishes, gains the spirit condition. All in-game and out-of-game items are retained by the player. Okay, cool. So you actually have to hit your dead count. So our laws, even if you drop someone and then you heal them before they hit that dead count, you are only charged with assault. And that's only if you willingly and without provocation attack someone. So issues of confusion and things of that nature, that doesn't count as assault. But that has to be abundantly clear. Murder is specifically, you have to get to that dead count. There is no life spell yet. So, yeah. If somebody gets to that dead portion, there's no saving them. Currently. Do I want to? This includes death via weapon. This law is only okay, this law is only applicable if the inspired lost some of their essence or were unable to be healed via medical training. This law is only applicable if the inspired lost some of their essence or were unable to be healed via medical training or healing magics. No, I'm gonna leave that part out. Short, sweet, to the point. Make sure that the plot staff knows what these definitions are. Someone who willfully and knowingly helps if I spell it correctly. Someone who willfully and knowingly creates a creature of undeath using the remains of a suitable body or part. Is guilty of this crime. Okay. Okay, folks. I need to go and take a quick restroom break. It is 10 o'clock almost. So I will be right back. I'm going to turn the volume back up on the music. And I will be right back. Oh. Hello, now I am back. Sorry about that. Okay. So, cool. Copy. Paste. Okay. Okay, so slander is super easy. Someone who willingly and knowingly presents a prejudicial or false statement or accusation to another inspired by word of mouth is guilty of this crime. It needs... Okay. Okay, theft. I don't know the true term for this. I guess that would be it. Okay. Someone who willingly and knowingly attempts to destroy or take over the duly determined political power of a particular lineage. Okay. Sorry, just double checking things. I'm going to leave that one go. Okay. Okay. I have 2 notifications on the Crestfallen page. Let's double check that real quick while I'm here. Any questions or thoughts on what I'm doing here with the document? Feel free, jump on in the chat. Talk away, and I will answer any and all questions that you may have in regards to it. And as per usual, it is the Book of Faces trying to get me to buy boosts to whatever, but I do not care about that currently. Yeah, I mean, currently I pay for everything for Crestfallen out of my own pocket. I have no revenue coming in for it. I've probably put a couple $1,000s into it. I'll probably put a couple thousand more into it by the time I'm done. That's something that I want to do for the game. But the overarching thought process that my brain has in regards to it is that Crestfallen is first a game, second a business, and then third, I have to see it as a community. So ideally, what I need to do is I need to treat everybody respectfully and follow the rules. And, oh, I'm out of songs for that. Let's do something. Let's do lo-fi. Or maybe not. We'll do this one. I like this one better. Anyway, so even though it's going to be constituted as a business, I need to look at it as a game first. And I want the game to be fair to all players. And I'm not going to make any money off of it. But as soon as it reaches that self-sustaining point where I don't have to put my personal money into it or other people's personal money into it, and it can pay for itself, the better it's going to be for everyone. And ultimately, I want it to get to the point where we have enough players where it's not me just writing everything myself. I want it to have its own kind of own life to it. That's why I want people to vote on different things every year so the game can evolve into what all the players want and not just me. But there needs to be that the buck stops here guy. And we've always found that that's always a problem. So I need to set myself up as that guy. But I never want to be the guy that you can't talk to. I never want to be that guy that people are afraid to interact with. And I also never want to be that guy that is so full of drama that you feel like I'm working for one particular group or another. No, I want to be here for everyone. I want to grow the game as a whole and have everybody feel integrated and feel like they're a part of it. That's what I want. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Sorry for that little rant. More concise language, eh? Okay, we'll leave it at that. Okay, we will center align. We're at what? 16. Bold and italic. I don't like this song. Sorry. Bold, italic, and underlined. Um, dispensation of justice. Yes, that is the wording. I will then change this back to 12. Yes. That is supposed to be a 12. That's why I changed it beforehand. Okay. And left the line. Um, including speaking with the accused. Um, oh, what's the term? Come on, Bear. Um, 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 um. Darn. Okay. It's not the suspect. Um, 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 um. Hmm. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Um, Dang it. Okay. My brain is drawing a blank, and I apologize in advance. But if you're not the person accused of a crime, you're the person that the crime was committed against. Well, I can't remember the term. That's really bad. Dang it. Victim. Victim would be a good term. Uh, if the victim and accused wish, they may hold a trial by combat to determine the outcome of crime. This must be overseen by the protectorate. If a crime is committed, if a crime is brought to the protectorate, the parties may choose to hold a trial by combat to determine the outcome of a crime. This is similar to a trial by combat. Okay. I'm going to leave that wording. Okay. The Protectorate of... Okay, I kind of like this. I don't want to have public beatings. I think they're not cool. I like that. Okay. Might help if I spelled public right. Public exchange leading to the death and loss of essence. Okay. Object value determined by protectorate and granted to victim. What else do we got? In the national game, we have death, loss of all property, obliteration, 2 deaths, obliteration, outlaw. Ugh. Okay. Status among the inspired is removed. What else we got? Okay. Okay. I think that's good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. I am almost there. I think that's pretty good. Let's see. Okay. Center. Ba, ba, ba. Okay. Ugh. What other playlists we got? This is what I already listened to. Playlist. Let's go back to chiptune. No. There we go. I'm okay with it. Okay, turn this back to 12. 1, 2, 3. Left align. Delete. 3. There we go. Okay. Lineages and creatures that are found outside of our members and enemies. May be treated as necessary on a case-by-case basis. While they may not be protected by our laws currently, with appropriate diplomacy. Lineages and creatures that are found outside our members and enemies may be treated as necessary on a case-by-case basis. While they may not be protected by our laws currently, with appropriate diplomacy, we may find common ground and add them to our ranks. Likewise, it may be determined that they go against our beliefs and may become permanently at odds with us. Okay. Okay. Doing good. 7 pages. Gonna put local there. I was about to put native, but that should not be the appropriate term. We have left align. Oh, come on, formatting. The Knolls of Catalosa were once members of the kinfolk lineage. I don't want to have it that they're driven to madness per se, but they're... I want to... These creatures resemble monstrous versions of hyenas. Mm-hmm. Um, Um, oh, this music's starting to get to me. There we go. The undead of Catalosa have not been seen for hundreds of years until the torrent. Up until the torrent occurred. The undead of Catalosa had not been seen for hundreds of years up until the torrent occurred. While they do not have discussions, some undead can cast spells. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay. The undead of Catalosa had not been seen for hundreds of years up until the torrent occurred. These walking dead can complete complex actions and seem to understand speech. While they do not have discussions, some undead can cast spells. Okay. The undead of Catalosa had not been seen for hundreds of years up until the torrent occurred. This walking dead can complete complex actions and seem to understand speech and tactical fighting. While they do not have discussions, some undead can cast spells. Okay. It is 11 o'clock. It is getting hot with these lights and no one is here, so I'm going to go ahead and head out. Hopefully I will have this document done for everybody to look at tomorrow, but we will have to see. I still have the magic portion to go through, as well as the fizz reps, but I think that should be it. It should be another page of another page of info and then the fizz rep stuff. So hopefully I can finish it. We'll review it at the staff meeting tomorrow, and if it is good, I will send it out to you folks. So I'm going to head out for now. Thank you very much for your time. I greatly appreciate it. I will probably be streaming again next Monday. Probably not this Wednesday or Friday, but we will see. I'm trying to spend some more time with the family. But I'm going to cut it from there. Have a great night, folks, and I will see you hopefully on Monday. Later.